I'm not like you. You ever put me in that position again and I'll cut your damn throat. Do you understand that, young man? Screamed Mother Winters, the head matron of the Children's Home Society orphanage located in Jacksonville, Florida, where I lived. Mr. Danpier, my science teacher from Landon Junior and Senior High School, had invited me to have dinner with his family on Friday evening. I had told him that I didn't think that such a thing would ever be allowed, but nevertheless he telephoned the orphanage and made the request. I knew that was a very bad thing to do. I had never eaten dinner in a real family house before. The dinner of pork chops was delicious, but I found that I could hardly eat for fear of making a mistake or doing something wrong, like talking, coughing, or looking someone directly in the eye while at the table. I didn't ask him for that, Mother Winters. Really, I didn't. I didn't ask him to do that. I don't give a rat's damn if it was you who asked or if it was that damn idiot teacher of yours. Never again. Do you understand my command, young man? Yes, ma'am, Mother Winters, I said as I looked up into her eyes. What? She screamed. Nothing, Mother Winters. What was that damn sarcastic look of yours? I was just saying yes, ma'am, to you, Mother Winters. You and that little smart mouth of yours, Roger Dean. All at once, and for some strange reason, I felt very brave. I didn't do anything wrong, and that's the truth, Mother Winters. Don't you talk back to me, you little illegitimate bastard. I'm not talking back to you, Mother Winters. I was just saying that. Shut up right now, she screamed. She turned and walked into her room, several paces down the long dark hallway. Within seconds, she returned, walking toward me, holding the dreaded sandpaper bolo paddle above her head. Slowly, I backed up and placed my back against the bathroom door. I raised my hands to protect my face, and quickly, I knelt down to the floor. Bam! Went the large paddle as it hit me on the back of my neck. All at once, I stood up. With both hands and with all my might, I pushed her in the middle of her chest, causing her to fall backwards against the wall. As she uprighted herself, she reached into her apron and pulled out a large pair of sewing shears. As she came toward me, the instrument raised above her head. I reached down and picked up the large bolo paddle and took a swing at her, knocking the scissors from her hand. In spite of my mind racing 90 miles per hour, I knew that I had committed one of the unforgivable orphanage sins, that my 12-year-old life was now over, that I had nothing to lose, and that I was going to be sent to the big prison for kids that the matron had threatened us children with almost every day of our lives at the orphanage. You are one dead little bastard, she mumbled through gritted teeth. Shaking the paddle at her, I reached down and I picked up the scissors and I walked towards her. You're never going to beat or make me lay in bed with you ever again. Do you understand that? You will do as you're told, young man, she told me. I swung the paddle as hard as I could, hitting her right in the face, causing her to fall down onto the terrazzo floor. The next thing I knew, I was on top of her with both my hands, and I was sanding the side of her face as hard as I could, just as she had done to me, hundreds of times. Screaming and yelling, I threw the paddle to the side, and I raised the large scissors above my head as if they were a dagger. You don't have the guts to stab me, you little effing freak. As I looked down into her eyes, even to this day, I have never met or known anyone that I could possibly hate as much as I did that woman on that very day. Slowly, I rose to my feet and I backed away from her. I knew you didn't have the gumption to stab me, you sorry piece of scum. You're a piece of scum that nobody wanted. That's why you're here, and don't you forget that, young man. I didn't stab you because I'm not like you, I screamed as I turned and stabbed the scissors as hard as I could into the hallway wall. She didn't say a word. Even to this day, 50 years later, I still don't believe that she was speechless. I believe this woman was evil from the very day that she was born. I returned to my dormitory and I waited for the police to arrive. But they never came. The next morning at breakfast, she acted as if the incident had not even occurred. I don't think she ever beat me with a bolo paddle again after that. However, the verbal abuse, slaps, kicks, punishments in the dark closets, and the molestations continued for another 2 years. I guess her finally sending me to the big prison for kids finally saved me at the age of 14.